how was your pee break?
My pee break.
They might flash you.
Random baby.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Quite an intro.
Let's address the elephant in the room. That's not the elephant in the room. There's no elephant. Nobody cares.
I too am a thought criminal. Good. Well, I like you already.
Does this look like a girl who's joking around?
No.
But how much do you actually understand money? Especially the new wave.
Beauty or intelligence? When you unleash both, it is men's kryptonite. Welcome to Talk to Me, Taylor. What is up, everybody? The gang is all here in the comments tonight. We got Pyramid 7, we got John Legend, we got JCL. What is up? And yes, John Legend, I have interviewed Anomaly and I have a crazy story with him. So spoiler alert. I recently, in one of my episodes, talked about bumping into a political thought leader who I had on my show here in Nashville and what happened in the past. Big spoiler, plot twist, whatever. It was actually about Anomaly. So there you have it. I'm transparent, Taylor. These days, like truly, I give no shits. We've already established this. Oh my God, I love the energy in the comments. I'm so stoked, guys. And you're going to have to, since I am my own IT guy and girl, I'm playing a pre-recorded interview that you guys are going to fucking love and really be obsessed with. Like, not to toot our horns here, but you're gonna have to tell me and be my gauge if the volume is working. Because last time, you guys know, that was like a little bit of a shit show. But I'm so glad that you're hearing in the comments live, because truthfully, like, you guys know I'm not above an Irish exit or enter. And since I did have this pre-recorded, I wasn't gonna come on and do an intro. But that would be like, I can't invite you to my party and then not be there at the door to greet you. Like, that's just ragged. That's just ratchet. That's just bad etiquette. So I had to greet you tonight in my own party and give a little intro to this. Yeah, the comments are popping. And by the way, when I play the interview, I'm going to be live in the comments too. Taylor making us thirsty, waiting all week. Thirsty Thursday, baby. And guess what? I even have, for those of you OGs, my throwback Cancel Me Baby mug. I mean, it just literally never gets old. The gift that keeps on giving. Like, people canceling each other left, right, sideways. Like, I've been trying to tell you, but you know what's not canceled is coffee. But no, so tonight's interview, and I'm going to get to these comments here that are, guys, this gives me, like, you can't see because the mic is cock blocking, but like, my nipples are bursting with excitement over your energy in the comments tonight. It's amazing. But this interview, okay, is with the stars of the new Audible series, OnlyFantasy. You're going to see, I'll set it all up in the interview. And by the way, I haven't even watched this back or edited it. So this is raw dog, straight up from the shoot. Okay. What you're about to see. But I love this interview because and you'll see, Gracie herself is a comedian, a writer, an OnlyFans creator. And the man behind this is like an OG, very established journalist. You know, I'll set it up, you'll see. But I love this because it talks about the big picture, bird's eye view of this whole really complex and layered, let's be real, relationship that we have with OnlyFans. We're both obsessed, and yet it's taboo. And where it's going with intimacy and how it's all becoming very, very confusing and is going to be even more confusing. Is it real? You know, and I even asked them, is this indulging our lack of real life intimacy? Like the fact that we're in person and it's like we just immediately turn into houseplants. Like people don't even know how to flirt, never mind, you know, interact. Or is it bringing out what's already like the kinky, the kooky, the crazy? Is it just giving us an escape valve to what's already there? So we talk about all of that, like intimacy, how it's getting even more confusing in a digital age. Is it real? Is it not? All the way to specific, very current cultural, like very buzzy and polarizing topics like Sydney Sweeney's Euphoria OnlyFans character that OnlyFans creators themselves have lost their minds over. And we even talk about, you know, I explore it on the show often, but like the Madonna whore complex. And what got me, like all of these topics that we discuss are things that ring true in so many facets of life. Even the Hillary Duff SI swimsuit, which she's so fire. I talked about it on one of a recent episode, but how she came out and said, you know, I only wanted to wear one pieces. And I talked to SI about that. You know, I have kids now and I'm proud of my body. And it got me thinking, like, that's cool. Like, good for her. But, you know, you have these conservative female outlets posting it as this badge of honor, and it just more and more reinforces that internalized, like, Madonna whore thing, right? So that's really fascinating. And as a cherry on top, I even am very revealing because, again, my fucks just flown out, like out of Mary Poppins' bag. Just there they go. Reveal my own experimental OnlyFans journey experience that I never have, certainly not on air before. So I'm going to start yapping. I'm going to start gabbing. I'm going to stop gabbing. And without further ado, the Audible OnlyFantasy interview. I will be in the comments. Keep them coming. And you guys are the best. Thirsty Thursday. We will remain thirsty no mo. Enjoy this. And yes, please let me know if the audio is failing me, you know, just like so many modern men are failing women. No, I'm kidding. All right, guys, enjoy.
It's great. I'm jealous of your background.
What's that?
I'm jealous of your background.
Oh, you know, it's a very, very, very expensive Amazon green screen. So I mean, it just really, well, it's so good to meet you guys. I'm super stoked. How long do we have?
15 minutes.
Okay, perfect. And then am I able to record on my end as well?
Yes, I'm recording on my end, but you should have access as well.
Awesome. And then I see Emily and Michael. Is there any way, I'm trying to figure out, like, if I record, if that's still going to be populated or if we can hide them from the chat here, if you're picking up what I'm putting down.
I think if you click the three little dots next to those two.
Oh, hide. Perfect. Thank you. Oh, here we go. Awesome. All right. Well, hey guys, great to meet you. How I am going to do things here is tee it up with a quick little intro and we will be off to the races.
Right.
And where are you guys both in the world?
My answer is boring. I'm in New York. Gracie has a more exciting answer.
I'm from that area, so not. Where are you?
I'm currently in Istanbul. But
awesome.
I'm not based out of here.
Okay.
Where are you?
Awesome. Nashville.
Nice.
Oh, wait, that's awesome.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to record on my end and we will be off to the races.
And just to clarify, this is like one cohesive, continuous segment?
Yep. So this is going to.
Okay.
Yep, it's going to air as I'll probably hop on that night because I know there's an embargo, but it will air as an episode of my show. So I'll probably hop on that night, tee it up with a live intro, and then run this. Okay. And then I'll probably maybe cut out some shorts for socials and whatnot.
Awesome.
Okay. I just sent a request, by the way, to record. I'm sorry, guys. The logistics are okay. Perfect. All right. If only we could solve the mysteries of men, women, intimacy, dynamics in the digital age, you know, with a fascinating topic like OnlyFans as a backdrop. If only, you know, I mean, it's a simple task. It's a simple, you know, but a mighty task. And these two are up to the challenge with a really interesting new project. I have with me here it's like a dream team, the two of you pairing up behind the new Audible series, OnlyFantasy. We have my Jewish brother from another mother, Leon Neyfakh. Did I pronounce that correctly? If not, that's a damn shame.
You nailed it.
If you guys aren't familiar with Leon, really interesting, just a little bit of background here as I set the table. If my Wikipedia didn't do me dirty, Leon, born in the Soviet Union, to Russian Jewish parents who immigrated here. You went to Harvard. You've been featured in the New Yorker, Boston Globe, Slate. Humble brag. I'll do it for you.
All
It's
true.
all good.
All true.
And joining forces with none other than Gracie Canaan, who is also so fascinating. You, Gracie, are an OnlyFans creator, which we'll get to this in the end, but takes one to know one. I don't know if anyone else interviewing you guys today is also on the OF, but we'll get to that. You're a comedian, writer, and I don't know if you still do, but I know in the backdrop of this project, you had a corporate day job, which is fascinating. So guys, welcome to the chat. What an interesting time to be talking about all this. First of all, autonomy with, you have even politically, right? With candidates, what have you, like in places like Florida, trying to like tax OnlyFans creators higher because it's like, no, we're not supposed, women aren't supposed to be doing this. And even culturally, right? Sydney Sweeney's character coming out right now in Euphoria, even OnlyFans creators, like people coming out being like, this is humiliation porn, all this. So I know that was a little bit of a setup, but if you want to just hop in and then we'll get into the good stuff. But anything off of the bat that, from that.
Yeah.
Politically, culturally.
I think what I've been saying is we kind of caught the perfect cultural wave. It feels, and we didn't really know that when we set out into this, but the further along we got in the process, this project took a year to develop. And over that, we just kept hearing OnlyFans more and more in pop culture. And we were like, wow, we're coming in at a really great time. And I think because between 2020 and 2024, 25, it became a lot more destigmatized. More and more people were doing it. It became this kind of like American dream, get rich quick thing, for better or worse. So yeah, I feel like it's a really interesting time. And, but the cool thing is I feel like OnlyFantasy offers a different lens than we're seeing a lot in media. We're seeing it very, I feel like, sensationalized, very dramatic, very gritty. And Leon and I have a lot of just like quiet moments with a guy from Alabama or like talking to a social media person of an agency. So, not to say that it's boring. That sounds boring.
But it's pretty. I was gonna say it's got some pretty dramatic moments.
I know. God, I was like, there's also a lot of crying, and I don't know.
No, it's real. And Leon, before you hop in, Gracie, I so relate to this too with my platform. I love how you talk about like the men who are maybe older, but like so harmless, and they're like so hot with like exclamation points. They're like, oh, Peter, like I experience that so much too. And I don't know, it's not creepy, but we'll dive into what all of this really says and what it's getting at. But yeah, Leon, if there's something that really, especially on the heels of this and seeing a perspective, and you're so funny too, right? Because you're like, I'm married, I swear I'm not being creepy, but the journalistic purposes, but again, yeah, politically, culturally, how it does hit such a nerve. Is there something for you, in hindsight now having done this that really, hits a button?
Yeah, I was going to use that exact phrase, that it really hits a nerve with people. I think, I remember when I sort of first became aware of it was because my little sister, who's featured in the show, told me that she was on there. And I was like a little bit concerned at the beginning.
Sure.
And then, she kind of like explained it to me that it's like, it's much safer than going out and doing this in real life. And I'm just talking to these guys. And really all I'm doing other than like posting racy photos is like saying good morning and making them feel seen. And, she kind of like got into all those details later. Like when I interviewed her for the show is when I kind of learned about like the kind of day-to-day texture of what this work involves. But I think it hits a nerve because it's like, wait a second, this thing that we, are used to thinking has happening like over there, far away, like porn, it's like happening in the dark shadows. Like we don't know anyone who does that. Suddenly OnlyFans kind of brings it home and it makes it accessible. It like lowers the barrier to entry to the point where like anyone can do it. And as we see from the numbers, like there are some 4 million creators on there, like it seems like everyone's doing it. And I think it hits a nerve because people aren't used to having to grapple with like the fact that real people do this kind of work. And, I remember like at some point during our reporting process, as Gracie said, like our Google News alerts were like just like popping off by the time we were done because it just kept getting more and more attention. There's one moment when Tucker Carlson had his infamous interview with Nick Fuentes.
How can we
And
forget? Funny, I
and
was
they
just about to bring Nick up. So yeah, yeah.
and they had like a 10-minute conversation about OnlyFans and how like the owner of OnlyFans, rest in peace, recently died of
Yeah,
cancer.
that's right. That's right.
How he should be arrested for sex trafficking. And so I think it really just like freaks people out, the idea that
Yeah.
that our daughters, you know, are able to become porn stars just by logging on to the social media platform.
Well, let's unpack this a little bit because you
Yeah.
tipped me right off here with the Nick Fuentes thing, right? And Gracie, this is, specifically for you, where I suppose even leading up to this interview, I was thinking about this. It's sort of the tale as old as time, like the Madonna horror complex, and men's really
Taylor, I say that word, I say
no,
that phrase multiple times a day, every day.
no,
Like
right?
it's
And
there.
it's there. And the thing is too, it's nothing new. I feel like right now it always shapeshifts. Obviously, that's why it exists, right? Through history in different ways. And now, look, I was on the Whatever podcast, okay? I have
You
seen the
were? Oh my
incels of
God.
no, I'm like still not the same. But we talk about the Nick
Wow,
Fuentes.
good for
No,
you.
I had no idea what I was signing up. I was like, what dark side of the web am I in? Like, what is happening?
No.
But so it's really it's magnified more than ever, and we have the people like the Nick Fuenteses, right? So it's breeding this really complicated nature where it's like resent toward women, and what's underneath it we all know is like fear, right? And being threatened, with also this obsession and fascination. What do you guys make of that? And especially you, Gracie, again, like being so in it on the other side. And I know it seems, and I subscribe to your page, by the way, in a non-creepy
Oh my God,
way.
thank you. No,
But
I need more women. I had like a
yeah.
few women at a spike one time, and I was like, and one of them literally started taking notes during one of my lives. They were like,
Oh,
oh, she was like, oh no, it was like Dogfish Head 96
yeah.
next, and then this, and I was like, what? This is so cool. No, I mean, there are so many answers. This is such a complex question and issue,
No,
but
I
I would
know.
say it boils down to shame. It boils down
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
I think, internalized shame. We can't help things, we can't help a lot of what turns us on and what we gravitate towards. And I mean, that's why I think we're such a repressed nation in general, is because it's kind of this religious repression that we were founded on, and now it's manifesting as, being an upstanding guy, or being, returning to traditional Christian American values. And I really think that just like nothing slightly controversial can exist widely without people spiraling about who they are in context of that. So it's like someone
So
like Nick
true.
Fuentes, it's like they can't just have OnlyFans exist. Like, God forbid this thing just exists and he just exists and everyone goes about their business, because this happens and it's like, well, what does that mean for me? Oh my God, I want to go on here, but also I'm disgusted and I would never. And then it becomes like, let's remove this thing that confuses me. Let's get rid of this thing that makes me dislike myself. And I think that's what it comes down to. It's like, why is it your business?
It like triggers something so deep. I say it all the time, half jokingly, but it's like, who hurt you? Like, you know what I mean? It's that kind of to unpack too what this really gets at, and I'm only getting to it here because I know we're concise on limited on time. Look, this is going because you guys really explore intimacy. Is it real? Right? What makes it real? And I've explored a lot let's be honest, the wave of VR, AI, all of this. Is it cheating? Like, how real is it? So, is it real? What makes it real? Like, where do you draw a line? And how do you know? How do you know if it's real? What
I'll
constitutes
give a
as real?
brief answer, and then I want Leon to answer from the other side, or the looking into the fishbowl side.
Right.
I will say it is choose your own adventure. Truly, like, what I provide on my page is far more like girlfriend experience. It's very emotionally charged. And for me, it's like I get lost in the sauce sometimes. Like I find myself caring about these people, not romantically, but really like I'm concerned for their well-being or the and it gets to the point where it's like if something's bugging me in real life, that's a connection. You know, if I go about my day and I'm like, oh my God, this person was so mad at me, or like I haven't heard from this person and I really care about them, then that is real intimacy. But then there are people, there are creators who literally never speak to their subscribers. They have their agencies handle it, they have chatters
Oh, I
handle
know.
it.
I know.
Yeah, yeah. So
It's so
it's like,
obvious.
but the intimacy is real for the subscriber. So I would just say it's like it's choose your own adventure. It's as real as you want it to be. And I found that leaning into a fantasy and kind of role playing and playing into it helps to be better at the job and helps to, you know, make it more fun. So,
Dude, sometimes I, not to be TMI, sometimes I like
Do
get
it,
turned
do it.
on. I like get turned on sometimes. And I'm like, wait, I'm like
1000%.
with the anonymity, this is supposed to, and I just did it too. I don't do anything. I did it more as like a social experiment, truthfully. And I
Yeah.
was like, great, if I could make a buck, but partially the, you know, the noble quest, like I said in the intro, what you guys are doing to learn about it from the inside. It's like, we can talk about it all day long. And yeah, that was one of the things I discovered that I certainly did not expect. So it's,
Yeah.
yeah, it
And then you
blurs
judge
the
yourself
lines.
and you're like, why am I getting turned on from sexting with this like
Yeah.
old guy from Indiana? And then, but then once you realize it is just like you're playing, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
two
no, it's so
consenting
true.
adults who are having fun. And like if it stays in that lane, why on earth is that a bad thing? But
Mhm.
yeah.
So I didn't go like full gonzo to do this project. Like I didn't subscribe to a million accounts and like really throw myself off the deep end for various reasons. However, I did have like a couple. I did need to know how the thing works. I did like need to like have a little bit of firsthand experience. So there was. This is an answer to your question about how real is it.
Yeah,
You mentioned, maybe Gracie mentioned that there's like a lot of creators who don't manage their own pages, right? They have agencies
sure,
who
sure.
hire chatters who live God knows where in the Philippines or India, and they're paid like $2 a day for this work. Um, I knew all that. Like I'm a pretty savvy like customer, like relative maybe to the average because I had done all this reporting. Like I know how this shit works. And I was like chatting with this woman, an OnlyFans creator, and I noticed that she had these like spelling errors or like grammatical errors. She's supposed to be this like white American girl, and I'm noticing these like weird spelling mistakes. This is all in the show, so I'm not like spilling tea here, but I noticed the mistakes and I was like, hey, because again, I'm there as a reporter. I'm like, hey, um, I noticed these mistakes. Like, is it really you who I'm talking to, or are you someone from who doesn't who's not a native speaker? And she was like, or whoever was like, Leon, I can't believe you would ask me that. Like, of course it's me. Like, what? Why? This is so embarrassing that you would think that. And I'm like sitting there, like, again, I'm supposed to be a savvy customer here, and my whole like, I called Gracie after this, and I was just like a total mess. I was like, oh my god, I offended this girl. Like, obviously, it is actually her. And I think I really hurt her feelings. She was saying how she was like, how I made her so sad, and I just like I completely fell for it. And Gracie had to like kind of shake me and be like, dog, like we've talked to chatters. We've talked to chatters about this exact thing. But when a subscriber like questions whether it's really you, like here's what you do. You get mad at them. You make them feel bad for
Yes.
asking. And I was like, I know, but I think it's actually her, and I think I really hurt her feelings. So I guess my point is like it took shockingly little to convince me that there was a real emotional thing happening.
Mm.
And I think it's like, and I'm someone who like wasn't even invested in it being real, right? So think about like a person who is someone who like has a true crush on a OnlyFans creator who they talk to every day and who they fantasize about and who they think about. I think it can feel as real as anything. And sometimes that leads
That's
to
an
like
$100
heartbreak.
apology tip.
What's
Right
that?
there.
Yeah,
I said,
exactly.
that's an $100 apology tip right there for
I
someone who's
tipped.
invested. Yeah.
I tipped. I tipped.
Exactly.
I was like, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Because I had to tip her to say I'm sorry. So I wanted to say
Wow.
I needed to say I'm sorry so that she would not be mad at me. Anyway,
Wow,
it just
how
made me realize
interesting,
like
Leon. Yeah.
it just made me realize like these people are professionals and
No.
they can make it feel really real.
It's a battlefield out there. Well, with that said, I sadly have to let you guys go already. But it's Gracie, again, what you said, you said I want to save men, which is so provocative, and I love it because I share the same sentiment. And again, doing it from the inside and it really got me thinking. And again, I've thought about this before, but which again, right? People could be like, oh, just, fine, just go right into the exploit yourself and blah, 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 whatever. Pander to the male gaze, blah, blah, by saving them, but I get you. I totally get what you're doing. Is this whole thing, right? Because it's also provocative and very controversial in and of itself of like indulging the digital connection, the lack of real life intimacy, all this. So I wonder with all of it, right? It's sort of the chicken or the egg. Like, is this fostering more crazy confusion, disconnection, fetish, all this stuff? Or is it bringing out in us what's already there? Like giving people an escape to what's already in their psyche. That perhaps
I think
we
this is the $1 million question. Yeah. Like,
training
is it an
wheels
escape?
or crutch?
Yeah,
Those
training
are
wheels or crutch.
constant
That's
metaphor.
like are the people who Gracie is chatting with. Gracie has subscribers who are like, I want to go and meet someone, but I don't know how. And so Gracie will like coach them. Like, you should go out to a bar, like wear a nice shirt, like make eyes at someone. And I think it was actually a really funny moment when you were sharing that exchange with us, Gracie, and you were like, yeah. And then he messaged me like an hour later to say he went out. And I was like, wait, did he message you from the bar that you told him to go to? So he's like, is he still just on his phone at the bar chatting with you on OnlyFans?
I'm like, hey,
so
man,
right.
one step closer, you
got him there. You got him in the door. Exactly. But yeah, as for like the questions, like, is it an outlet for these like impulses, or is it like a catalyst for them? I think it probably depends on the person, right? Like, I think we definitely talk to people who I think if they didn't have this, they would be angrier, they would be less fulfilled.
Addicted to
I think
AI.
oh yeah, or they would turn to AI, exactly. But I'm sure there's other people for whom it sort of unleashes something that might have been otherwise dormant. And I think we when I talked to my little sister about it, she was like, yeah, I think especially younger men who are on here, they get used to the idea that they can just pay someone and they get whatever they want.
Right.
And then they go out in the real world and they try dating, and it doesn't work like that. And
yeah.
that creates like a kind of a toxic, approach to relationships. So I think it kind of depends on the person. But I don't know. My conclusion, like, I think we, in the back of our heads, we kind of wanted to at least get close to an answer to like, is OnlyFans like good for the world or is it bad for the world? And we don't have like a clear answer, because I think the show is like a little bit more nuanced than that. But I was sort of surprised to realize, I think I came in with more skepticism about the platform than obviously Gracie did as a creator. And I was like surprised to find myself thinking like, yeah, I'm kind of glad this exists because a lot of people need this.
And Gracie, before you hop in, just to piggyback off that, something I appreciate is how you do foster a respectful environment. And it's very, I appreciate it because it's very similar to what I'm proud to have nurtured and fostered with my followers, which is, I love, like, same thing with you with your comedy. It's like they can appreciate, I love when they'll send me, my followers will send me this, like, maybe it is 45-year-old Peter from wherever, 55-year-old John from where, but they'll send me this like really intellectual think piece and be like, I'd love your thoughts on this, similarly with your comedy and your writing. And then they'll be like, you're really hot. I'm like, cool, it's great. Let's do it all. Like, I love that. And that's my interpretation of when you're like, let's save men. It's like, it's okay. It's okay to appreciate both. And it doesn't have to be one or the other, so that's why I love how you do it.
My like last baby thought on that is, there's such a hate against simps, like simps is such an insult and this and that. And I'm like, what you guys don't realize is simps, these people who are saying like, oh, I love your comedy or your work, and also I'm gonna like enjoy your spicy content. I'm like, actually, those simps are the people who have evolved past the Madonna whore binary. So maybe you should shut up. And
how interesting. Yeah.
I don't know.
I never thought of it that way.
In support of simps. Anyway.
That was like the first thing that I think like really jumped out at me about Gracie when we first started working together, was that Gracie had like a real affection and empathy for her subscribers. And I was like curious as we went
Yeah.
out into the world and like interviewed other creators and managers and whatnot, like how common is that? And I was kind of surprised to realize that, you know, yes, there are creators out there who are just in it for the money, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm a sucker, but like I kind of got the impression that it's more common than you'd think. And I think it's related to what you said, Taylor, about how like you found yourself surprised to be like turned on, and it's because like you're a human being. And if like a conversation is
Yeah.
nice and you like the person, like you kind of can't help maybe but care about them a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, I tried I've had 2 runs of experimentation. The first time I tried to make it a little too, because my whole motto is tits out, brain out, and being both. So I made it really like political satire, but I would be like covering my tits. And I'd be like, right, people don't want to think that hard, maybe on OnlyFans. So maybe, you know. But anyways, okay, I have to wrap. Last thing, Gracie, if you have any last thoughts on the chicken or the egg, and I would love to just like 1, 2, 3, on the count of 3, I would love for you and I, because this is such an experiment. I know I'm always surprised to drop, like, I always say, I'm like, guys are all the same. They all want this. And I would be interested if, like, on the count of 3, we both say from our experience and if it lines up.
Okay. Wait, like in OnlyFans or
Yes.
like in life?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God.
Ready?
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Head scratches.
Pussy pics.
Oh.
I had to do it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the obvious. And I'll go further and just say whole. People will just message me whole ? And I'll send them a picture of a golf course, of a golf hole or something, and I'll be like,
You said
that'll
whole.
be $50. No, but I think it's head scratches. I think it's the emotional or text equivalent of like, it's all about the head scratch, and I can't even elaborate from there. But
Oh my God, hilarious. Well, you
Yeah.
guys are awesome. I'm sad I have to let you go. Thank you for this, not easy work, but honest work. And, Gracie, maybe we'll do an OF collab.
oh my
I'll DM
God, where
That'd be
we do
fun.
just political satire.
you. We have to.
Please DM me. We'll talk.
Absolutely,
Thanks,
guys.
Taylor.
And thank you guys behind the scenes for giving me a couple extra minutes. I so appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Taylor.
Good
This was fun.
luck.
All
It was great.
later.
Appreciate you.
Bye.
Chris, how was your pee break?
My pee break.
They might flash you undetected.
Wear them, baby.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Quite an intro.
Let's address the elephant in the room. That's not the elephant in the room. There's no elephant. Nobody cares.
I too am a thought criminal. Good. Well, I like you
Does
already.
this look like a girl who's joking around? messing around?
But how much do you actually understand money? Especially the new wave.
Beauty or intelligence? When you unleash both, it is men's kryptonite. Welcome to Talk to Me, Taylor.